Hi, everybody. Before we get to another great interview, please do me a favor and subscribe. It would really help us out. Now, let's get to that interview. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Too Opinionated. I'm so excited today. I've got singer-songwriter Jake White with me. So welcome, Jake.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So we were supposed to do this a week ago, and my dumbass got sick. So we had to back it up a week, but you were very gracious about it. So I really appreciate that.
Oh, no worries.
So welcome to the welcome to the show. I've been listening to the music. Really good.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, let's start this way. Tell me a little bit about, what got you into music. Why do you want to kind of get into the music industry?
Well, when I was in high school, I've been singing since like a young age, but I was kind of like in band and I got into that kind of stuff. And I was like in drumline when I was in high school. But then my freshman year, I auditioned for the musical Grease, like on a whim.
Ooh,
and
nice.
It was like such a fun show and like such a like great first musical to like participate in, just like in the ensemble. It's like such a fun and like wonderful show. Like everybody knows it, of course, everybody loves it. And so that like really turned me on to like musical theater. And then I also joined choir in high school and became like such a choir nerd and like loved just like singing with people. And eventually that led me to going to the University of Michigan School of Music and studying voice there. Which was so fun. And like I got to sing in so many amazing ensembles with so many awesome people. And through all of that, I've like, of course, really loved music and it's been such a big part of my life. And then I have also always been drawn towards composing and like writing music as well. I started like writing choir music when I was in high school.
Nice.
Just because I was like such a nerd about it and I loved it. And then I've written a few more choral pieces since then that are all unpublished, but I have that burning passion. And then my senior year of college, I really dove into like writing popular music and like that kind of thing and learning how to produce and use all of the software.
Yeah.
And also one of my biggest things too, in terms of like how choir has like shaped my drive for like modern music is like, I love thinking about writing music in terms of like vocal layering and like kind of almost like creating like a choir by myself just cause. And so that's like one of the things that has like carried through, I guess, since like the beginning of my passion for music.
I think it's so neat that we've gotten to the point technology wise that you can be the whole band just by yourself or the choir.
Yeah, no, it's crazy because then you can just you can make cool stuff just like in your basement or your bedroom.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, of course, like I really I have collaborated with other producers and stuff, and I would love to collaborate with more artists and instrumentalists and stuff. And you can tell like when it's just like the MIDI electronic sound. But you're right. I mean, you really can just whip up a whole symphony in your bedroom if you want.
Yeah, pretty neat. Pretty neat. What was your role in Grease?
I was just like a jock in like a varsity jacket. But actually, my junior year of high school, I was the lead in the show Pippin. I was actually Pippin in Pippin.
Oh, very nice.
And that was like really what I guess secured my like solo career of like, wow, like I have some talent, like I have talent, like I really could do this. Like it was really fun. And like it was like my first time getting like a leadership role in that kind of stuff. It was so so different than being in the ensemble. And it was just like a lot more personal artistry can go into that kind of thing,
right?
Than when you're just you're red jacket guy number 5.
Well, how did your choral teacher, how did they handle you writing music? Did they use any of it in class?
We actually did have like a sing through one day where we just like sang through it at the end of the year, but we never really performed anything.
Yeah.
And then in college, I did enter a choir piece that I wrote, actually set to the words from the children's book, Goodnight Moon.
Yeah.
I entered that into a competition and I did not win, but I lost to like a graduate student that was like majoring in composition. So I was like, that's fine. But it was really cool. Like I actually went through the whole process of like reaching out to like, I forgot, like the beneficiaries and like talking to them about like getting the legal rights to like use their book and that kind of thing. And that was like really interesting.
Yeah, that's
like,
a pretty good learning experience.
Yeah. And so I mean, it was still really cool, even though I didn't win. I still have that choral piece, but I'm not allowed to sell it.
I mean, did you give any thought to like going into teaching, being like a music teacher in school?
You know, that is something that I mean, I think I would probably be more drawn to doing like vocal lesson teaching than like actual academia. My dad was a teacher and a school administrator, and my sister is a teacher, and she's getting a master's in educational leadership. And I think I'm more artistic. I have so many things that I still need to be taught. Like I'm like, I want to be taught all of the things. Like I probably someday I can teach things, and right now I could teach voice lessons, but I would rather be done with school and kind of
you're still learning your own stuff right now.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would love to learn more instruments or like more software, just like that.
Yeah, of course. Do you play anything outside of drums?
I actually do play the piano a little bit. I took piano classes at the university for like 3 years, and I of course can play all kinds of chords and do the MIDI composing with that. But then I did take a guitar class as well, and that was like pre-pandemic though, and I haven't really picked up the guitar since. But like I do know how to read like guitar tabs and that kind of thing, which is like a useful skill.
Yeah. That's useful.
So I definitely could pick it back up, and I would like to. But right now it's like mainly piano. However, though, I can play the ukulele pretty well, or like I even have like a baritone ukulele, which is just like a tenor guitar kind of too, just like a 4-string big.
Yeah, I've never heard of that type of ukulele. That's neat.
Yeah, it's kind of like almost like the love child of a guitar and a ukulele, because it has like a much more of like that low resonant sound that you get from a guitar, but it's only 4 strings though, so it's much easier to play.
Yeah, I think ukulele is kind of making a comeback. It seems like a lot of people are starting to pick that up.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can think of like Billie Eilish, 21 Pilots, and AJR have all used the ukulele, and I love all of those bands, and I would love to do like a cute ukulele song as well.
So what type of music inspires you? Is there an artist that you kind of try to emulate, or are you completely making up your own sounds?
You know, I do listen to a lot of artists. However, and like I do like pick up on like some things from them, but at the same time, in like learning how to use the software and stuff like Logic and whatnot, I was really just like, I don't even like some of the stuff I was making. I was like, I don't even know if this is like fits into a genre, and like this is the kind of stuff that I'm like learning at school, and like I don't even think I could place this into a genre. But I mean, some of the stuff I'm coming up with or releasing right now is like more pop and whatnot, but some of the stuff that I've made is somewhat experimental, and I'm like, okay, like I guess this really is just me. But I do listen to a lot of like pop music and also mostly R&B and then alternative rock
Okay.
too. So I do have like a very wide range of taste, and that of course kind of opened me up to being influenced by like lots of different artists and genres of music. But some artists that like I really do really love and like look up to and want to emulate in some ways would be like Joji, SZA, Lil Nas X, 21 Pilots, Daniel Caesar.
Yeah, those are some big names.
Yeah, well, I love all of their music. Those are some of my like favorite artists. And then, but I also have like some of my other favorite artists are like I love Jack White and then like all of his different bands like the Raconteurs and we're going into like my rock side a little bit. I love like the Catfish and the Bottlemen. They're like
Oh
this
yeah.
amazing British rock band. They're like one of my favorite bands. I've seen them live like 7 or 8 times.
Oh wow, nice.
And so I have like a song that's coming out on my fall EP that is a little bit more alternative, but it still has some synth stuff in it too, but it has like a guitar lead, and that's kind of, I guess, could be somewhat influenced by my rock faves.
So the new single or new release is Brightside. So, which I love. It's a very I don't know, it's kind of like a feel good song. You know, it's very positive, I think.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I think it was definitely something that really helped heal me in like a really tough time.
Yeah.
Because I was actually going through like the worst breakup in my life. And like this was the first song that I started writing after that. And I wrote the verses right after that, where I was kind of like exploring my own journey with like pouring myself like all the way in and like
Yeah.
really falling hard and kind of like that journey of like searching and it's kind of like a waste of time and that kind of thing. And but then the chorus ended up being written months later, and that was kind of just like the culmination of like I've kind of finally figured out like what my strengths are and like here's what I need, and like communication and like and the kinds of things that like make relationships work, or like what I think would make a relationship work for me.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting because like to me, it was almost like that, you know, we've all been through those type of breakups, and it was like you were to the moment where you're ready to try again, to get back out there. So you're ready to look, you know, more on the bright side, and you know a little bit better, you know, about yourself and what you're looking for. That's kind of how I took it.
Yeah, and it was such a process for me to reach that place personally, and I'm glad that the song kind of also grew and was like a process too, in that it was it kind of followed in the same journey that I personally did, which was really interesting, I guess, to share with everybody.
Yeah. So this is your third single. What were the first two?
The first two were pop ballads. They were called, the first one was Unwanted, and then the second one was called Self-Destruction.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that so? So explain those two, because both of those titles, you're like, well, that sounds a little negative.
Yeah, well, so after that bad breakup, the Unwanted was kind of just like those very negative feelings at the beginning of like really questioning like yourself and really like having to almost figure out like what is like your purpose really like now, or like you have to kind of like be really fine with being alone, and like also like that it's normal to feel that way, and like it's like that process of like trying to recenter yourself and focus on your own life is like completely normal and understandable and is difficult, and it takes time.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
then the other song, Self-Destruction, is like, again, like a little further along in the process and like kind of starting to like really dig in and realize your previous partner's like flaws and kind of like notice how you're actually really better off without them, and how they were kind of just like choosing to not see you for who you are, and or like not appreciate you, and kind of take you for granted, really. And then also just like picking up on different like nuances in dating, like kind of learning about people.
Yeah. Yeah, they're both really well done. I think it's neat kind of seeing the journey. You know, the way you've released them, it's kind of you're seeing the journey that you're undergoing since the breakup, and I thought that was kind of neat. It's like it's telling a story.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you appreciate that.
Yeah. It's really good, and your voice is very relaxing. You know, like I can put that on and just kind of it's like, that's kind of nice. Just relax. It's a very soothing voice. So it's really good.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, and I can tell you, my barometer for telling whether or not something, music is good or not is I play it around the grandkids, and if they dance, then it's pretty good. If they get bored and just wander off, maybe it's not so good. But so I played them Brightside, and they were dancing around. They were bopping around a little bit.
All right. I'm glad to hear it.
Did it surprise you when you started putting music out there on Spotify and some of these places? Did it surprise you the responses that you were getting?
Yeah. So the amount of listeners that I've had has surprised me. Like my second song got 50,000 streams.
Oh, it's amazing.
And so that was really exciting. And I've had like lots of people reach out to me personally and tell me like how my song like speaks to them, and like how they can relate, and how it's helped them personally, and those kinds of things, it's very surreal.
Yeah.
And also just like the craziness of like being able to open up like the Spotify for Artists app and seeing like, oh my gosh, like I'll wake up in the morning and I open it and it's like, oh my Lord, there's like 16 people listening to my song like right now. Like where?
Oh, that's exciting.
Where are they? Like what are they doing? Like I don't know. It's just crazy.
I know it always amazes me is how do people find the music? But they do. If it's good, they find it.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely gonna be working on trying to be found by more people this summer, but I'm hoping that that people will just find it, because it's fun and it's cool.
Do we or can we expect music videos?
Actually, the Brightside music video came out last Friday.
Oh, that's exciting. That's exciting. So, okay. So where can you find the video?
It is on YouTube on my channel, which is Jake White.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exciting. How, so talk a little bit about that. How did you come up with the idea for the video, and who helped you put it together?
Sure. So my producer, Jeremy Ryan, he and I started working together. We worked on all three of the songs, and I'll actually be working with him on my fall EP as well. He kind of like, he had the idea to do the music video, but my mom definitely really helped make it happen, because we went out to New Jersey, which is where he lives, and before then we had never even met in person, and we had just been working over like Zoom and stuff and texting each other every day and that kind of thing. And so we flew out to New Jersey and we met him and his wife, and we hung out with them. But then like while we were there, that was actually the first song that I recorded in the studio with him, as opposed to just like in my basement. And then so we like did a quick recording day, and then the next day we did like a quick shooting day where we shot like half of it in the hotel room in New Jersey, and then the other half we actually went to Manhattan, and we went like to New York, like downtown, which was really cool. I actually had only been like once before when I was like 11, so it was like super cool to get to go to like Times Square and film there, and
that's awesome.
All of that, which was really cool. And the music video turned out to be pretty awesome, and I'm like really excited to continue to share that with people.
Yeah, that's so great. And how did you two get together? Because if that's the first time you met, but you've been working together, how did you get together?
So it was actually like a really crazy and funny story. My mom and my sister were on vacation in Greece, but the funny thing too is that they had like planned this trip like a while ago, and then it was canceled because of the pandemic, and like it was rescheduled, and they almost had to cancel this time too because of the fires that were happening.
Oh, right.
Like last year. And so by some stroke of luck, they happened to be in Santorini at the same hotel as him, and he's on his honeymoon with his new wife, and they like became best friends, like, and did karaoke together, and like were drinking on the rooftops together and like having a great time. And then he was like, oh yeah, like I'm a producer, like I write songs for like movies and stuff, and like I've been Grammy balloted and like all this stuff. And then like after she got back home, like we let some time go by a little bit, but then we were like, hey, like listen to my stuff. And then he was like, oh wow, like you have a really good voice, like you're like perfect for these songs that I was thinking about, and like that kind of thing. And then we've been talking almost every day since. I'm wondering when we're gonna go on our honeymoon. No.
That's meant to be.
Yeah, no, it was like just a complete stroke of luck, like once in a lifetime chance encounter.
Yeah, that's terrific. Yeah, I love that. So the EP in the fall, what can we expect from that?
So that one I am really excited about, because so for the other 3 songs that I released, I really just did like the vocals and like the like songwriting and then like vocal layering and stuff. But my producer Jeremy, and then also Cooper Anderson, another producer, did the tracks together and like mastered it and stuff. And so they did all of the instruments for those. However, in my fall EP, I will actually be doing like all of the instrument composing as well, and like all of the producing and mixing and stuff. So it's like,
that's exciting.
Definitely, yeah, it's like a big step up in responsibility for me in terms of what is going to be made here, and I'm pretty thrilled about it. So I think that you can expect a lot more personality in this music from me, and a lot more. It's definitely going to be a lot more a lot more of a glimpse into like my artistic mind and like harmony and that kind of thing, because it's a little unconventional at times, but I love it. So I hope everyone else does too.
Yeah, no, I'm sure they will, because you really do have just a terrific voice. Any plans to sing live?
Actually not currently yet, because right now I'm just thinking about like moving next week, and then like getting settled in Tennessee.
Yeah.
But this summer I was going to be really focused on trying like a social media campaign, and kind of like really focusing on being discovered on like TikTok and that kind of thing, because I really have not had the time while I was in school and stuff. But now that I finally graduated and I have a little bit more time, and I actually have like my 3 songs out and a music video, now I'm like ready to start promoting more and say like, hey, like here's some clips of this video, like go check it out. So I'm really going to be focusing on social media this summer, and I'm definitely will probably be doing some performing and singing on there as opposed to necessarily in person, at least for now.
Yeah, I think that's a smart way to do it. And then at some point in the future, if you decide to go out and do some live performances, then you'll be more ready and your sound will be out there.
Yeah, and I would love to go on tour at some point, but also I was like, I don't know. I feel like in today's day and age, it's not necessarily the most productive thing to try to get discovered, like singing at bars and stuff. Like,
Yeah, it's changed.
You could blow up on TikTok in like one day, really. Like if you like if you're lucky, like it's crazy. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's the truth. Because of the internet, it's easier and harder because there's so many, the competition's so much bigger, but the audience is so much bigger.
Yeah, no, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So I'll see what happens this summer.
Yeah, I'd say you got a big summer planned. A move, you're moving to Tennessee. You're getting ready for the EP in the fall. You're taking on social media, which isn't easy. That's a lot.
Yeah, no, and I'm gonna start working full time as a legal assistant for an attorney to be able to like afford my EP and the move and everything. So I'm gonna be really busy.
Yeah, that's cool. It's gonna be a busy. No vacationing for you this summer.
Well, actually, I am going to Glacier in Montana this summer.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, I've always wanted to visit Montana.
Oh yeah, it's like one of the most beautiful places on earth.
Yeah, that is exciting. Yeah, that's pretty terrific. Well, Jake. Yeah, well, right. Yeah, it's not the whole summer. You're taking. Everybody deserves a vacation.
Yeah,
we'll allow it.
Thank you.
Now, Jake, this has been terrific. I think you're really talented, and I can't wait to hear the EP in the fall because I'm sure we're going to hear a lot more from you. But a couple of things before we wrap up. I think we've hit everything, but anything else that you're working on that we can kind of keep an eye out for?
No, I mean, I think just the EP and keep an eye out for me on social media in the next year or so. And
yeah, for sure. Yeah. So which leads to the next question is where can we find you on social media?
So on Instagram and my Facebook fan page, those are both the Jake White Official. And actually, so is my TikTok, although I don't have that much posted yet. And I have a website as well that is just jakewhiteofficial.com. Yeah,
it's pretty well done. Do you do it yourself?
Actually, my producer Jeremy helped me set it up, which was
that's good producing.
Yeah, no, he's fantastic. He does a lot of things for me that he probably should not because he's wonderful.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. You got to have a good working relationship with people. So that's awesome. So I should have asked before we wrap up, are you artistic in any other ways? Do you paint? Do you do pottery? Anything outside of music?
That's an interesting question. I actually, I have painted like a few times, but I'm not super good at it. But I did actually take a metal jewelry class my
very
senior
nice.
year at Mendez, which was super interesting. Like I got to learn how to solder metal, and I made like bracelets and earrings and necklaces, and learned how to like weave wires and
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was super cool. Although I don't really necessarily have a ton of personal materials to be able to like solder at home or anything. Like that was really fun. Like I had a good time.
Now I was curious because I found that artistic people tend to be, creative in multiple avenues. It's not just one way that they're creative. They tend to be creative in whatever they try. So I was just curious if you had given anything else a go.
Yeah, no, you don't want to see my drawings. Like my paintings could be cool, like maybe they're abstract, but you don't want to see the kinds of stick figures I draw. They're horrible.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they're better than than mine. I'm really good at spotting talent, but I have none of my own to share. So I'm just like, it's fine.
Well, that is a talent in itself.
That's what I keep telling people. Well, Jake, when the EP comes out, you'll have to come back.
Yeah, thank you. I would love to.
Yeah, this has been terrific. Okay, hold on one second. All right, so that was the talented Jake White. Can't wait for you guys to hear some of his stuff. He's just a beautiful voice. So definitely go to SoundCloud, check that out. It's really, really good. Or Spotify. You can check him out on Spotify. It's just, yeah, he's so talented. The new single is Brightside, and you can also find that on his YouTube channel as a music video. So make sure that you do that. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. I love bringing talented up and coming musicians onto the show. I know the majority of our time is spent with actors and people in the film and TV industry, but we've, kind of slowly built up this volume of up and coming musicians that I love it. I love it. And I hope you guys have enjoyed that. I spent a decade working with Ticketmaster, and I definitely am using this as a way to kind of touch those musical roots. So it's been pretty fun. So if you guys haven't done so yet, we could really use your help with our YouTube channel, Meisterkhan Pod. If you could subscribe, we'd really appreciate that. You can find, I can't hardly believe it, but we are getting ready to hit our 400th episode, and you can find all of them on our website, audio and video, meisterkhan.com. If we're doing anything in studio, if we're going on location, if we're covering a convention, it'll all be on the website, meisterkhan.com. So definitely visit and take a look and check out some of our other interviews. I think you'll enjoy that. Thank you guys so much. Until next time. Bye, everybody.